To this video, Scorpion is a really tough matchup for me as Totemic for a number of reasons. One, you can't cat escape. Anytime you try to do a cat escape, Scorpion can just spear you or just teleport punish. You also generally can't put up totems because blood totems are so slow. The Scorpion can see it and react, full combo punish you. So you have to play just very, very neutral heavy. Honestly, the other Codals are better against Scorpion, okay? But I've tried playing the other Codals. I just don't really enjoy them in the same way, and so I stick with Totemic. I would rather know my exact buttons, know my exact enders. I would rather have my Air Cat because Air Cat is still useful, as is Ground Cat for, you can see the punish on the cat right there, right? As is Ground Cat more for aerial punishes, which you did see me do earlier in the match. This is also Mike Trelinsky, all right? So if you have watched some like console combat recently, you can see Mike Trelinsky in the tops for, in like top, I want to say top 8 for that. Definitely top 16, but I think also got into top 8. And I've gotten bodied by Mike Trelinsky before. I'm at a point where usually when I fight people, I always win some. Like I never just get like completely destroyed. Like it's usually pretty close. Most people I fight against, even when I fight against pros, it's pretty close. Fight pros online. Mike Trelinsky, though, just destroys me, okay? So I had already played him once in my Grinded God, annihilated, 2-0, easy win for him. And so this one I was like, I'm going to start playing more carefully. I've got to really just watch myself. Yes, this is a hard matchup, but if I can play carefully. One other way you can know this is Mike Trelinsky is one of the few Scorpions you see use hop attacks, the amount he does. He uses that little hop punch a lot. You didn't even see him doing it in the console combat tournament. So, not looking good for me, right? I'm trying to play careful, but Scorpion, right? And see, boom, then hop kick, right? Like I said, if you needed evidence that this was Mike Trelinsky, boom, there it is. And I get bodied, right? Now, I shouldn't say bodied, right? Those are relatively close, but because of the amount of options that Scorpion shuts down, I just have to play really fundamentally, and that's where my background comes from. Like, I mean, I've been playing since Street Fighter 2. I'm old, so I'm okay with playing fundamentals and not using a lot of the sort of other character tool sets. And some people would say switch, play a different character, and I do find playing Bullock is a bit easier against Scorpion, but I prefer personally to just play Totemic. It makes me happy as a player. So on to the next match against Scorpion. So, I basically got bodied in the last match. I'm thinking, okay, how can I take this? Right? So I'm looking to slow it down, play carefully. I'm happy with the first hit. I do go ahead and use Cat mid-screen, even though he's got the bar to break away. I decide, you know what, whatever. Here's me using the slam as a wake-up option, because you do need to mix that in there at some points, right? I should have flawless blocked that big plus frames that Scorpion gets when he does that, leaping punch. Right there, you see it again. And he's doing it because I'm not flawless blocking it. You don't even need a flawless block. You can like down one in between it. So he's like totally disrespecting me by doing that, but I'm not giving him a reason not to. I earlier got hit because I just forgot about the range of that like whip part, but I was happy with punishing after flipping out. Speaking of punishing, I was not happy with not punishing the blocked teleport. I could have easily killed with just 1-2 sword or launcher 2-2-1 because he doesn't have meter, but I still get it. With leaping back cat, jumping back, pretty good option. Not as much against Scorpion because of course Scorpion can anti-air you with a teleport, which sucks. But again, it's just Scorpion shuts down a lot of Totemic's options, but I have faith. I'm like I just have to play this carefully, and I can win this. So like fundamentals. We see a very nice anti there from Mike Trelinsky with that standing one, and again, you see the hops. This is why, once more, if you're close to the opponent and jumping, you really do want to use Codal's kick buttons because that is much harder for the opponent to anti-air. Was not expecting the spinning whip right there. I was just not thinking that he had a button that could punish me. Speaking of punishing, he should have punished my cat right there. I'm like, okay, I'm low on life. Maybe I can get back in this with like a totem or two. I go for the second totem. Nope. Really, he could have killed me right there, but he wasn't worried. He had such a life lead. Why stress himself out, right? By even doing a combo. So this is, match point for him. And I love the new range on that Crushing Blow disc, meaning that it can Crushing Blow much closer, as it did right there. The main thing to be in sunlight at that point, honestly, is if I hit him with something, I'm doing more damage, and also to bait him to come to me. I love putting up sun and then doing cat, because the opponent is expecting you to stay in the sunlight. So you can really throw them off by doing a forward advancing string or a cat. I didn't get the Crushing Blow on that, but I was happy with that block. I was waiting for him to amplify, but, you know, Scorpion gets that choice, doesn't, and right there, so happy to catch with that slam. So, you know, of course, questions, what's different? You know, why did I win that one? You know, I really do think I was playing it, for the most part, you know, more calculated, safer, you know, not doing anything too crazy. Obviously, there was the one point he could have punished me. But going for slams, you know, here and there to, you know, keep him guessing, and, you know, blocking and punishing when I can. So, you know, just more solid play, and I'm feeling good, right? You know, beat my demon once. I just have to do it again. So I'm feeling pretty good because, you know, I beat my demon, beat someone that normally bodies me. Like, okay, I just need to keep playing safe like this with a little bit of craziness with slams. Like, keep it safe, slam sometimes. Now, that was a little risky, but that was me thinking, okay, I've kind of conditioned him to think that I'll do something after forward 2-4. I've also been working on getting combos after connecting with a jumping kick. Obviously, it's easier to combo if you connect with a jumping punch, just do back 2-2. This guy's going jump and hop crazy on me. But it works. It fakes me out. I'm like, what's he doing? And he gets his Crushing Blow. Right there, I really should have done the sword to put him back in the corner. But actually, well, no, because I didn't have the bar. So, cat was the right call. What he should have done was done a breakaway out of the cat and then punish me. Even so, though, he gets me, right? So I'm like, okay, you know, I can't really use cat, at least ground cat, in the same way. And that's a big adjustment. You see me using it off the block strings because, again, I'm trying to impose that respect. Get hit by the overhead low on that, which always frustrates me. I'm like, I know this. I know that I need to block overhead and then block the low and then full combo punish. But he snuck that low in and got me. It's just because he can do the overhead into, you know, teleport. I mean, it's the same thing. He still just block low. But anyway, so you see me getting some pressure in. I should have done a back 2-2 off that, but hey, I still got the 2-2-1 launcher, which is similar damage. I would have gotten maybe like 20 more. And there you see me starting to work in a little bit of the slams. Now, if you don't amplify the slam, there is a decent amount of recovery, but as you saw, it blocks in time, and you can get that. That always sucks, when you're like, alright, I'll just use sunlight to close out this match, you know, right? Amplify sunlight, I'll be golden. No. He uses spear, Crushing Blow, gets me. So it's just another reason that this match was harder. But in the end, I got it. You might recall in a previous video I mentioned, well, previous match in this video, I mentioned that anti-airing Kodokan's jumping kicks really hard. So that's what you want to use when the opponent is that close to you. And, you know, I got the match because of it. I even tried to fake him out a little bit with the extra forward movement before the throw, but he still teched it. Should have blocked that. I was looking to move a little closer to get the block in, so I'd be like, okay, I'm definitely blocking this, but it's messed up. Should have done the Crushing Blow there. The respect. Oh, and getting my combo. Now, he should have flipped out right there, and I should not have used cat, because that was full combo punishable. So that was a big mistake by me. There you see me waiting just a brief moment after the down 4 connects, and it's still going to be at plus frames. And there we go. And it felt real good. I don't normally do brutalities, but like I said, this dude has really bodied me in the past. I feel like I gotta work. I gotta beat Scorpion. I know a lot of people have Scorpion at the bottom of their tier list, which I think is crazy. I mean, at least for this matchup, you know, Totemic versus Scorpion. But just overall, Scorpion just has so many options that a lot of characters don't to you know, punish. But, you know, be that as it may, tough matchup for me. Tough matchup, I believe, for Totemic. And there you see me winning it. So I felt really, really good about that. And I hope looking back through, you can see what tools I used to get there, while also keeping in mind my mistakes. Do not do cat in the corner when the opponent has 2 bars. They can flip out. and punish you. Unless you just read that the opponent's like never doing that, that they don't know. They can flip out of cat combos. Okay, fine, then do whatever you want. But if they do, that's really unsafe. So I should not have done that. So this match is against a Frost player. Frost can be an interesting matchup. I'm honestly surprised we don't see more Frosts, especially Arctic Anarchy, because that variation is just so good. You know, after we saw Hey George do amazingly at, what was it, like CEO? Or anyway, Hey George rocked it with Arctic Anarchy. I was like, oh, we'll see this character all the time. So this particular person I'm fighting against was, I want to say that I had been matched up against them before, and I was like, okay, this person is good. Yeah, no, I had definitely fought them before. I lost to them. And so I was trying to keep in mind, you know, the way this person played. I think my strengths is I don't have the best execution. I'm not the best at false blocking, but I am pretty decent at adjusting, at like seeing what my opponent is doing and compensating for their choices. So it was just, you know, kind of like against the Scorpion matchup, just try and play a little slower, carefully. It might seem not slow for me to cat like that, but like I said earlier, if I ever see the opponent jump at range against me, I'm going to cat, because cat will catch it, whereas a lot of other things won't. They need to be a little bit closer for sword to catch. Now that sword's been improved, I should work on, like, you know, moving forward slightly and then doing sword, but it's a little bit easier, just cat, and plus cat's in my muscle memory. So one thing that makes Arctic Anarchy so solid is the fact that she can, you know, basically keep so many of her strings not just safe, but neutral even, meaning like it's no one's turn after you block her string. But I managed to get her on a jump back, and, you know, once I've got Fatal Blow, I'm pretty much just waiting to connect with anything. I'm like, all right, anything I touch them with, which is normally going to be a 4-2-4, I'm looking to connect in a Fatal Blow. Here you see me going sword just for the guaranteed damage. It's unbreakable. You know, I saw they had bar, so I was like, you know what, let me get the deafening damage. It doesn't give me the corner carry, which I like. I like putting the opponent in a corner, obviously. All right, but you know, I wanted the damage. There, of course, I should have done up 2. I really need to get better at that. My default is up 3, so often I'll wake up, like, if I'm going to wake up with something. Oh, right there, I was so happy to get that. Oh, it feels so good. It's so nice that sword it's more legitimate now. It's not amazing, but it's there. So we kind of, like, lost, well, I mean, I shouldn't say we lost a throat crushing blow, but we sort of gained a crushing blow. Yeah, it was a crushing blow we had before, but it was so hard to use. Having it now is really nice. Now, obviously, I lost the match. I shouldn't have gotten hit like that, because when she shoots her projectiles, what you want to do, especially as Totemic, you want to neutral duck the first 2, and then if she chooses to amplify, you can jump. So if I had jumped, then I could have done cat. Now, I want to say, I'd have to go back to lab again. I know you can neutral jump after you duck the first 2. I think you can even forward jump, but either way, she was close enough that if I had done air cat at the apex of my jump, I could have gotten her. So that was my own fault for losing. You're also seeing me do 3-4 a bit more. Sometimes it is me trying to get a totem out, but other times it's me looking to do 3-4 on their wake up, because 3-4 is 0 on block. So what you're going to see me do is do 3-4 and then do a down 1 immediately after to catch their butt, and then use pressure. You know, use a throw. I need to start doing 2-2 a lot more when the opponent gets hit by like a down 3 or a down 1 that I do. But you can see me do that in the tournament footage, the RCU footage. I do 3-4 and then do a down 1. Unfortunately, even though I was so close in the other matches, I lost in that. Just wasn't spacing things correctly, just getting hit, getting tagged. You know, she has a similar move to your air cat where she's got the dive bomb, right? And so I just, you know, I was getting hit at times when I wasn't expecting to get hit. I was getting clipped by, you know, special moves. So like, okay, I got to slow this down even more. I just got to watch what are they doing. I need to not run into projectiles, not let myself get, you know, bopped on the head by her dive bomb. And that's all the stuff I'm thinking in between matches. And, you know, you see a lot of top players lose initial matches and then they come back and win. And I'm not saying I'm a top player by any stretch, but thinking about the match that just happened and what you're going to do to adjust if you lost is really important. Even if you won, thinking, okay, how can I change things up? How can I do something they don't expect to keep them on their toes? This time in between is so critical to use. Okay, so I'm thinking slow, careful, wait. So right there, so me like, wait. Now I could have done a better punish than a throw, but I haven't fought against Arctic Anarchy enough to get kind of used to the idea. If she dives bombs me, hits me in the head, and you do a standing 2 for a launcher combo. But you see me using the knockdown from the throw to get some continued pressure, even knocking her out of the air, continuing the combo from that. That's the best thing to do, honestly. If you hit somebody with neutral jump 1, you want to do back to 2 as a totemic, get as much damage as possible. Now it's, you know, arguable if I should have done the reset there in the corner combo, or if I should have, you know, just ended the combo. But, you know, either way, I don't know what the opponent was doing there at the end. I mean, honestly, like I said, this player is, you know, pretty solid in my estimations. Maybe they were just like, forget it. I don't care. Like, I can't win at this point. But whatever. Anyway, they decided to jump into Sunlight and win. So forward 3-4, if someone is close enough in the corner, you don't need to do the micro dash into slam. You can just forward 3-4 into slam. There you saw me hit them airborne, but they were low enough that the cat would connect, especially that close to the corner. You see me using the sword more. Oh, I wish they pressed button so I could have gotten the crushing blow. But yeah, I'm trying at like that range to use the sword because it actually works now some. You know, you can catch people that are jumping or just pressing button, and if they block, if you're at the right range, it's really hard for them to punish or even get their turn back. So I'm really trying to work that in more. So there you just see me overall adjusting, right? You know, so I went from losing those last 2 rounds pretty badly to then winning 2 rounds straight. You know, why? What's the difference? And it's because I'm thinking about the match. It's because I'm thinking about, okay, I don't want to let myself get clipped by, you know, her dive bombs, her projectiles. You know, I need to apply pressure once I get the hit, you know, in a generally safe way. But, you know, forward 3-4, micro dash into slam is really good. And even there in the corner, as you saw, I didn't need the dash. So everything I was doing was pretty safe. And just keeping the pressure going, because there's different types of players. Some players are more offensively minded, or slower players, meaning like they like the game to be played slower. So if someone's just good at offense but not defense, or someone prefers to, you know, play the game at their pace, if you can get them off of their game, then, you know, you get an advantage. And so I think that's part of what happened here. So the fun part after, you know, of course, winning a round is then you're thinking, or winning a game, you're thinking, how do I do that again? Because it's 1-1, you know, they're going to try to adjust. If, you know, they're a good player, they're going to try to adjust for what I was just doing. And then I need to adjust back, or I need to do something different, you know, in order to, you know, kind of throw them off. So you see me kind of staying away a little bit, throwing a little bit of discs. And, you know, that's not a strange way for Totemic to play, but that's not something I'd been doing a ton of in the previous match. You saw me, you know, blocking that dive bomb as a low. If you block it as a low, it's safe. So she has to turn that for Ganabi. So that is the moment. Right there is the moment that matters so much. And again, the reason I say that this character is so much more legit than a lot of people give it credit for, which is, if you get the one hit, then you have options. And that air cat can just hit people when they're not expecting. So much of the damage I got on her was a series that took place after Air Cat. I hit her with Air Cat, did 4-2 as a meaty on her wake up, clipped her, got her, and then even hit with the hop overhead with kicks. Now, hop over with kicks, you can normally get someone with a slam right after. It's not a true meaty, like I think there's like a frame or two. If you do the hop punches, you actually do get a perfect meaty slam. And so, of course, here I'm like, it's game. and thank you for dive bombing into it. Now, obviously, if they hadn't dive bombed, I would have amplified the sun to go chase them, which is such an amazing way to win. I love winning like that. But, you know, at that point, you know, if their health gets that low, Totemic's won. And that's another reason that I like playing Totemic, because I played a lot of Xiao. You can see that in other videos. And, you know, he had some ways to close out matches, like with his like leap, and I love his leap, I do. But it's just so much easier to close out matches with Totemic or Bullock, where you can use the sun and then amplify the sun. Again, you see me going for the guaranteed damage instead of corner carry, because, you know, I'm seeing that she's got the 2 bars. That's why you'll see me do the sword ender, just because they can't break away, and you're only losing a small amount of damage from Cat, and you're getting all your damage. Now, if you want them to break away, you know, that's someone else, but as we talked about, you know, if the opponent breakaways against Cat, depending on their character, they can damage. You see me going for that guaranteed damage again. You're going to see the sunlight. That's it. So, you know, I went from winning a round, losing 2 rounds, to then winning the next 4 rounds straight, right? Now, this is a good character. Arctic Antarchy is solid. You know, and I think this person was doing a good job piloting her. Like I said, I've lost before to this person before I, like, you know, really started thinking, like, how am I approaching this? Be more cognizant of where is the opponent? How can I deal with their attacks? How do I apply the pressure once I have an opening? Stuff like that. So a lot of it is, getting the opening. An air cat can just be an amazing way to get the opening. And once you get that opening, then you could potentially hit with a series of other attacks. So that's what I would say would create, or did create a difference in some of these. And then, of course, when their life gets low, you can just close it out with sunlight. Hope that helps. All right, so I have one more match from my run on Combat League. And so, as my other videos showed, I started at Champion, and then, of course, in 2 days, got to God. And, some of those ranks went really quickly. God, getting to God was a grind, though. Demigod to God, that one took some time. And so the last video from that run is actually not my last match that I got God with, though that was a good match. But there was someone else I played like right before, like 2 or 3 matches before that last match, that was really good, using a variation that I have fought some before, but it's not a super common variation. And so I thought it would be a fun one to show as kind of like the last one on my run to God. So let's go on to that one. Before you actually start your match against somebody, in terms of like the fight itself, you do get some initial information, mainly their record, right? And so I noticed that this guy, solid record, so I'm like, part of me is hyped for that, because part of me is like, great, I can get, good match, good practice. Part of me is like, I just want to get to God, right? But I was like, okay, this person's going to be solid. Let me, not do crazy stuff. Let me get a lay of the land. You can already see ducking my throw attempt, getting 34%. Well, not quite that against. And of course, now you're starting to see the interesting thing. This is a Barking Irons Aaron player. Now, I fought against Barking Irons before. Blackout, even at our local, played Barking Irons against me before. And Barking Irons has some really interesting options in terms of the cancels, the slide cancels for pressure. You saw me go and use Amplified Cat because the Aaron player at the time did not have bar. So I was like, okay, I'll carry him to the corner because they couldn't flip out. But that is something you gotta watch for. I thought that was so smooth. Like, I don't know, but I think that just looks sick. The way he basically dashed, slid, canceled in to throw me. It was so clean. It was so nice. Yeah, I mean, I totally lost, but I can respect that, like, that looked really cool. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that, even though this person is playing Barking Irons, they're solid. So I'm like, okay, let me work on this. Now, Aaron does not have an 7 frame. Standing one is 8 frames. So, you can cat all day. Now, obviously, he does have a great mid, though, in the form of back 2, so you don't want to neutral duck afterwards. So, generally speaking, unless you see that the opponent is trying to stand 1 and really seems unfamiliar with the matchup, but an Aaron that knows the matchup or just wants to play it safe, they're going to go back 2, as you see this person doing again and again and again. So you just gotta hold that. So it's kind of like you're safe if you amplify cat. Basically, I mean, the Aaron could down 1 you. But you're safe, but you're also not going to be applying any pressure. So right there, I was really a little frustrated because I just needed to delay my wake up a little bit longer. And then I really think that last hit of the string would have whiffed and I could have punished. Maybe not. Maybe I couldn't have really delayed much longer at all and I was going to get clipped anyway. But that was definitely in my mind. I was like, oh, if I could just stayed on the ground a moment longer, I could have totally, punished that. But overall, I got rocked here, right? So, I'm only a couple match wins away from God. And I'm like, come on, because the season's almost ending. There's only a few hours left. And I'm like, why is there this crazy good Aaron Black player that's playing Barking Irons? But as I said before, what I always try to do is adjust. So I'm thinking, okay, what are they doing? They love using the cancels. They're definitely using back to 2 after a blocked amplified cat. I just need to block. They did get hit when I did forward 3-4 into slam, so maybe a little bit of slam options there. So these are the things that are running through my mind as it loads up for the next one. So as is usually the case after I lose someone, I'm looking to slow things down, play carefully. You see me doing a little parry cancel there, which I was happy with, right? But then totally not reacting to the flash, that cancel you can see taking place. I really should have also punished that whiff string from Aaron, just, back up a little bit or even just do a down poke to stop it and get the plus frames. Should have anti-aired there. I mean, I'm happy I got the throw and the escape fail. It's wonderful. But, I should have punished his landing frames. Also right there, when I hit with the jump punch, I should have, been going into a string to combo that. Granted, you're committing to the string, airborne, that's just the way MK is, but, I have to do that sometimes with the jump attack. I was happy that I read the throw there. I'm not always the best at reading throws, but I am trying to work on that. Now I've got, I'm cornered, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Obviously, you've got to respect the Fatal Blow. And so here, you know, I go for the guaranteed kill. I didn't have to do that, you know, that slide is totally punishable. I could have done, you know, forward 1-2 or maybe even, you know, 2-2, but I didn't want to put him airborne because he had bar to get out of it. I wasn't sure if 1-2 sword amplified would kill. It probably would have, but I just didn't want to risk it. I wanted the win, so, you know, I did the throw crushing blow. I was happy there too. I let go of block slightly there, or maybe it was just slightly out of range. You eat so much damage when you get hit by Aaron Black's command grab in this Barking Irons variation, and you're, you know, sitting in a puddle of acid. I mean, it makes sense. You should be taking the damage, right? So that's something I haven't gotten to do in many of these matches, which is the 1-2-2 knockdown, because a lot of people haven't been getting knocked down by it. 1-2-2 knockdown into slam, which is immediate if they, you know, try to do anything other than delay. And then I just get beat. You know, there's a couple cool things that happened there. Another time that he slid, he canceled through me, and then he was actually going for a tick grab. I guess his forward 3. I guess Aaron Black's kick move is a forward 3. Maybe I just say that because that's what Kodal's is. But he did forward 3 and a tick grab. And you see just the pressure. And at any point, I could have stopped it, right? Like, that's not real. I mean, I haven't labbed it, but cancels in this game are generally not plus off of, you know, much, if anything. So I'm sure I could have done like a down attack or something. I've been working on my combo conversions, hitting with a jump kick, because I've realized that you do need to do more jump kicks against someone that is good at anti-airing. So, you know, if you neutral jump and you see, oh, they're right beneath me, waiting to anti-air, I need to kick. Or get away with cap, one or the other. But kick, you know, can lead to a combo. And so you see, applying this pressure, I'm like, okay, his match point, I'm so almost dead, you know. And right here, I'm like, okay, I just need to work my way in. See him shooting, and I'm like, he's taking pauses in between, so I go for the cat, and I get in, and then, that's right, the Hail Mary. Something I haven't done all match. I haven't done, you know, 80 of these other matches I've shown. Forward 3 in a Fatal Blow. You know, I wouldn't do this against many characters, right? Like, I still had a little bit of health, I still had 2 bars, I could take some chip. But against a character like Aaron Black, who has that acid puddle, I just did not feel as if I could wait for him to make a mistake. I thought, I have to be offensive. I got to take this win. And I totally lucked out, right? I got lucked out with that 4-3 and a Fatal Blow. But sometimes that's what happens, and it's keeping me in it. At this point, I'm definitely thinking, okay, cool that I won. I'm sure they're frustrated, but obviously that was a Hail Mary. That wasn't like I outplayed this person at the end. So I'm like, I can't count on winning that way again. Like, I need to deal with these cancels that he's using. Like, I have to. You see me get a nice neutral jump punch there. I should really, if they get that close, be using 2. You can neutral jump 2 because you get a little bit more damage. Less range for more damage. You see me trying to wake up with jumping, because that does work against a lot of characters, but not against Aaron Black. That back 2-2, it just all the way connects. And you can see just getting clipped out of the air over and over by that back 2-2. It was unfortunate when I did the roll away that when he was whiffing the back 2-2, I didn't get the punish. But you saw me go from having a lead to just getting mauled, right? So this is the person like, oh yeah, you want to beat me with a 4-3-4 Fatal Blow? I'll show you who's winning this match, right? So there you see me using the parry, and it works wonders against Aaron Black. And really, I need to be using it a lot more. I mean, look at this. I just got 40% damage because I was able to parry that. If he had meter, and I think he had like just gotten the meter, he could have done the shot, because unlike MKX, parrying someone's attack doesn't stop them from continuing. At least on most strings. There are a couple strings that the parry will just flat out stop, like a Jade string, a Scorpion string. Anyway, point is here that using parry against Aaron Black is a really good option. It beats slide, it beats his double kick. Even if he's using back 2-2 and you parry the first hit of back 2-2, you can then do a string and do like 1-2 or 2-2 in between it. So I really need to be parrying like all the time, and I wasn't. But I did a little bit, and that got me 40% damage right there. So remember I said that I've been trying to adjust, trying to think of like, okay, he's using these slide cancels all the freaking time, right? And I've been getting bodied by them by round after round after round. I was like, I need to do something the second I see him do that. Now, granted, I should have done like 1-2 to like hit confirm into Fatal Blow, right? But I was like, Fatal Blow, like I see the flash, I'm pressing Fatal Blow, and it worked. So honestly, that was me adjusting. It did take me a while to adjust. I did get it. Forward 2 can be a great way to punish people that are trying to do low strings. You saw me looking for the 3-4 plus, well, not plus frames, but 0 frames, but he rolled out of it. Now you just see me playing a little back and forth, a little spacing, looking for that right moment on his wake up, and there I go for it. So I've also talked about, there it is. I've talked about how, you know, if you don't slam a lot normally, then you can get away with it at certain times. So this is sort of a culmination of that, right? So like I had been slamming at very like sort of not risky times. When you hit someone with 4-3-4 and then you do a slam, that's generally not very risky, at least for the most part. As long as you don't amplify it, you know, because if they delay wake up, then they beat the slam. But if you don't amplify it, normally they delay their wake up, they're getting up, you're recovering, so you're okay. But at no point in our matches had I been like, okay, I'm going to do like, you know, forward 3 slam or something like that. So at the very, very end, again, with the pressure's on, you know, one hit away, I do forward 2 into slam. And again, as I mentioned, you know, doing slam after forward 2, the opponent isn't expecting that as much, not in the same way. Also, it's worth noting that I messed up at the end. I just did sunlight. I mean, here was my thought process. They could wake up and do Fatal Blow or back away or something, right? And I was like, I'll live. I've got enough life that he could hit me with Fatal Blow. And this will be guaranteed, because I was thinking that if he woke up with sand or something, I didn't want to do the forward 2 and get hit by it. But I probably should have backed away, waited to see if he woke up with sand or something, punish if he did, and win. If he didn't wake up with sand, as soon as I see the sand not coming out, which this is wake up, then do forward 2 for into sunlight. So, you know, he could have woken up and done his Fatal Blow, like you saw, blackout due to me during tournament. And so I really should have played that a little bit safer. I still think I could have won either way, because after the Fatal Blow, I would have had enough life to put another sunlight up and do that then. But I could have played that in just a little bit better. But overall, I was really happy that I went from getting straight bodied to winning. And those are the adjustments you really can make if you're watching for, like, what are they doing? How are they hitting me? What am I doing wrong? So on and so forth. So shortly after this, I got to God after, you know, playing 2 days, a bunch, and felt good. What I really, though, want is I want to get to Elder God. I want to be like the best, you know, Totemic player that there is. And there's a lot of stuff in my gameplay that I'm not maximizing. I'm not doing as much as I want. So I really thought about, you know, my run to God, these matches, what I was doing that I liked. I mean, I like my spacing for the most part. I like that I'm, you know, getting better at reading the opponent and adjusting. Like, that stuff I'm happy with. But there's other things where, you know, it's just not in my gameplay. It's not in the gameplay the way it needs to be. So I actually have one more extra match. This happened in between Combat League seasons, but it was me really thinking, how should I be playing Totemic? And I'm really looking to make some big changes to my play. And let's give it a watch and let's talk about those changes and see how it all shakes out, shall we? So one last match, bonus. You'd be sitting there thinking, you know, what else can you do? MK11's like really linear or whatever. So I heavily disagree with people who say like you can't have your own play style in MK11, or especially, you know, like with Totemic, people are like, he's got no other options. What would you be doing? Well, one of the things that I really want to start working on is that. I've showed it before, and it's so easy to like just not do, like just to go back into pilot, like autopilot mode, and just be like, I will do 4-2-4, and then I will block, or I will do 4-2-4, canceled into cat or something. But I really, all the time, want to have as an option, I'm blocking with flawless block and using Kotal's amazingly ranged up to. So that's one of the things. Now that's not a huge surprise if you've watched my videos before. You've heard me say I need to work on flawless blocking, and it can be hard when you're doing ranked matches, especially during a season. You're like, oh, I don't want to lose. I want to have this great record, you know, so on and so forth. And you can be like, oh, I feel scared about, you know, waiting to flawless block. Like, what if I mess it up or something? But you know, the only way you're going to get better at doing it is to do it. So what I'm working on doing is hit confirming. Now, that might sound like obvious, like, oh, of course you need to hit confirm. But what I'm looking for is, okay, 4-2-4. 4-2-4. If it connects and they have bar, and I know they know the matchup, I'm using sword. If it connects, 4-2-4, and they... I was happy to win like that. They're like, oh, he's not going to do it again. Yes, I will. If I connect 4-2-4, and they do have bar, you know, I'm using sword. If they don't, I'm using cat. If they block, okay, I need to parry or flawless block. So that's what I'm trying to do all the time. Ah, you see right there, the cancel, down 3 and a parry. That's another big thing I'm working on. I was like, I need to start doing my down pokes into special cancels. That was me trying to totem, by the way. So it's about me really hit confirming and seeing if they block, I'm going into parry or I'm going to flawless block. I mean, yes, I could, also go into amplified cat for the continued like special pressure. But overall, I'm really trying to like layer those options. Like if I hit, I do either sword or cat. If they block, I'm doing parry or I'm doing flawless block or I'm doing amplified cat to show that I'll keep attacking, right? Maybe sometimes I'll do forward 2 into slam. The other major thing that I'm like, F it, I'm just going to try it. Totems. People have talked with me about this before. In fact, I even had someone ask me this in another video. It's like, hey, I noticed you don't really blood totem very much. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks. It's just so slow. For the same frames, you could, well, almost the same frames. You could get sunlight out. And, sunlight is automatically helping you. It's healing you. It's damaging the enemy if they get close. It's buffing your damage if you hit them. It's just better, right? But I was like, you know what? I'm playing Totemic. I need to try. Pardon me. I need to try getting more blood totems out. So my goal now in this next season, yeah, I definitely want to get Elder God. I definitely want to be using Fatal Blow, but honestly, I'm sorry, Flawless Block. But honestly, even if I didn't get Elder God this very next season, but I started using Flawless Block all the time, I started using parry all the time, and I started blood toteming all the time, I would be happy. Because that means my gameplay is changing, it's evolving, and it's getting better. Now, even now, you see it's tough to be like, okay, I'm going to put Totem out. Because it is true that Totem is more safe than Sunlight, but it is still slow. And that's just, another thing that's on my mind, that I really want to start toteming, like using Totem constantly. Like I'm gonna go a little crazy with this next ranked season. Like just any moment that I think I can, I'm gonna Totem. It's gonna be a big experiment. I'm gonna see, where can I really be toteming? And to figure out where I can, I'm gonna do it all the time. Like I'm just gonna be toteming constantly to figure out, is now the time? Is now the time? Is now a good time? So you saw me trying to do a little bit of old school stuff right there, which is the forward 2-4 bait in Fatal Blow, but they were on it, they blocked long enough. So, you saw a couple hints of where I want to go. You saw Flawless Block after a block forward 2-4 string. You saw me doing down 3 into parry. You saw a little bit of blood totems. And so that's what was on my mind in this match. Like, yeah, I want to win, but, if you're just focused on winning, you're not always improving. You're not adding the new things in your gameplay, because what you'll do is you'll go back to the things that you know work. And the problem is those things don't necessarily work all the time. Like, they're not going to necessarily work against a better player, for instance. So as I'm going to this next match, I'm like, okay, I want to win now, but I really, really, really want to start doing these new things. I want to change my gameplay. Obviously, a lot's working for me. I got God in 2 days up from champion. That feels good. I had a really strong record, but I can be even better. And I know these things are going to help me. I know for sure parry and flawless block will, and I think blood totem might. Blood totem's kind of like this big mystery, and I want to figure it out. So I'm thinking, all right, how can I start, doing my game plan, but with these other things? I'm still also looking to just work on my spacing and figuring out exactly how far forward 2 goes. I mean, you think I would know after all these matches, right? Because I played so much Kotal Khan. But even sometimes I do whiff a little bit. So you see me starting to go with totems, where normally I would be looking more for, the pressure, right? But I'm like, okay, let's get some totems out. Let's see, what can this totem do for me? On my mind right now is like recovering in time to do another totem, because if you can start getting the stack, that's when it's awesome. Like 1 blood totem, it doesn't do much for you. I mean, it does something, right? But if you can get like 2, 3, oh my goodness, the life you can get back from 3 is crazy. So, that was me trying to summon a totem. That's another thing that's another reason I want to start doing more totems, because I really want to get skilled at either getting to a place where I can use 3-4, like pressing both 3-4 as a way to summon totem, and like not getting the string instead is a mess up. And also, or alternatively, going back to using the flip stance button. But I'm only going to figure out which one is the one I got to use if I just start toteming all the freaking time. And so even right now, looking at this is still even a little tame for what I'm thinking. I'm like, I want to totem constantly. Like, if there is ever a break in neutral, I am going to totem. And I want to see what happens if I do that. I want to see how it changes the gameplay. I want to see how it affects what my opponent is doing. Now, one thing I love about Cat is it pulls you back. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get back in time for the totem, but I didn't. So that's the other thing, like, I kind of know the timing for totems, but not fully. Like, I have not maximized my knowledge of totem, or like the totemic aspect of my character, which is of course kind of funny. I was real happy that I scouted that throw the way I did. It always feels nice to hit that combo. Getting some solid damage off that. And so you can see that, like, you know, summoning totems hasn't, you know, hurt me necessarily in this game. Like, we're still close. You can also see me going for those cats in neutral because against Aaron, it's just not scary. I mean, Aaron could hit me out of the cat before I reach him, but if I reach him, like, yeah, he can down one and have, you know, hella plus frames. But otherwise, you know, like, he can't full combo punish me. So, you know, using cat as a neutral option really is legitimate against Aaron Black. So here we are in our last match. I'm like, all right, let me keep trying to do this new stuff. Let me keep, you know, toteming whenever I can. Let me floss block after a block string. Let me use parry sometimes. You know, right now this is all looking very normal, but right there, if I connect with a down three, so that, notice that down three parry right there, and that gets you out of it. Now, granted, obviously, if you hit, you're losing your plus frames because you're in parry stance. But if you get blocked and then they press button automatically, now suddenly it's your turn with a damage buff, and in a way that they're likely not expecting. So, you know, the down three, the down three parry worked fine. Other things have not been working fine from here. And Blood Totem. Again, normally I would be pressuring. That was such a weird interaction, right? Where, like, I didn't go flying. It just sort of stayed stationary. I was like, what the heck? So bizarre. Another thing that I have to do is start using interactables a lot more. Like, it's not even on my mind to use that hammer. It should be. I'm pretty good about using jump interactables because I think about using air cat off of them, but I need to be using, like, all interactables. But again, you see me getting totem out. I didn't know that wouldn't stack, right? I was like, oh, this should be close enough to stack. It wasn't. So again, even though I played Bullock, like, I still need to work on that. There wasn't obvious, but now you can see something pretty cool, which is, I'm like, okay, wait a second. You know, I have almost killed him, and I'm basically at full health. Right? Like, I didn't even need to use a bar there to kill him. But, wow. Like, okay, I see you, Blood Totems. I see you helping me. Now, obviously, I'm giving up Oki to put out the Blood Totem, but that's more on a knockdown. Whereas, if it's just kind of in neutral, like right here, like if I totem right now, like there, what did I lose? Okay, yeah, he got a blood. He got a little puddle out. It is hitting me a little bit. But now I got a second stack. Any touch, like right now, if I had totem again, oh, right there, oh, I ducked it, I'm going to get all my life back, right? So, like, I lost nothing by doing those totems in neutral. Now, is that going to be the case for every character? No. Like, you know, Aaron just doesn't have something real fast that can punish me. So, sure, it's going to be matchup specific, but that's why my goal is to blood totem constantly against everybody. And then I'm going to find out. Like, I mean, sure, I know against Scorpion it's going to be deadly. Like, I'm going to die from trying to totem. I know against, like, a Sub-Zero that's got slide, they're just going to slide on reaction, right? But there's a lot of characters out there that if I'm in neutral, I can put out a totem, I'm not going to lose anything. So what I should have hit with there is when you hit with an up 3 and they're airborne, you can often connect into a down 1 sword. And I was kind of frustrated with myself that I didn't get that. So obviously, you know, I just need one hit for the kill and the fatal blow, and I do snag it, because like I said, another thing that I want to continue to improve on that I do think I'm pretty strong in, but not as good as I could be by any stretch, is my spacing. I was like, I can hit with forward 2 right here. But notice that I got hit by a lot, you know, and I should be dead if it weren't for totems, right? So I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated to see what will happen if I just blood totem all the time, as well as starting to work, you know, more down 3s into parry, starting to work more even down 3 into cat, starting to work on, you know, parry cancels based on hit confirming whether they block or not, and then of course the flawless block is a big one for me. So that's what I want to work on. That's what I think is going to really take my gameplay to the next level. So thank you for watching. I hope this helps your gameplay move up to your next level. I know this was a long video, but it's also been a bit since I've put out a longer video or like a ranked run. So here it is. I hope you enjoyed it. I am planning to do more rank runs and get more videos out there. You know, I do want to get to Elder God, but I also don't want to say, you know, I have to get Elder God next season because I really want to change my gameplay. And maybe that change in gameplay will get me there right away. But I think I'll more likely lose a bunch trying this new gameplay, and it'll suck. And it'll ruin my ranking, and I just have to accept that. I gotta accept the suck to then ascend past that. So I will say in 2 combat leagues, I very much want to get to Elder God. But I'll do a run, and I'll be playing, Totemic with the totems, and we'll see. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Good luck, and I'll catch you next time.